Do you have any desire of what goes first? I could start with this Facebook group thing. It's kind of funny, but if you have something funny,
let me rant about money just for a second.
Make it
okay,
funny. Here we go.
please make it funny.
Up. I know this is set you up for failure, but like be funny, dance for grandma.
And this is Gaytriarchs. So we had a holiday weekend. How about that? A 3-day weekend to just kick you in the balls and say, summer's around the corner. Here's prep, right? So my kids are like, hey, we want to go to the cat cafe. Have you ever been to a cat cafe?
No, but I want to so bad.
Oh, it's funny. We actually have 2 within driving distance. I mean, not like within 20 minutes of us. So there's this one that's this weirdly famous place in New England, even though it is in the middle of nowhere. And it is this coffee shop that is painted in nothing but rainbows. Yeah. And it's called Two Wrestling Cats. Have I already talked about Two Wrestling Cats?
No, it sounds amazing.
I mean, it's this man who used to be a scientist at Pfizer or something, and he started his own coffee shop, and it is an anchor from across New England, and it's just cat decorations everywhere and all sorts of cat puns, and I lost my husband and my cat 25-cent reward for returning the cat kind of signs all over the place, right? So anyway,
my owner thinks I'm perfect, that kind of shit. Yeah.
All of that. Yeah. And those weird, creepy, battery-operated stuffed animals that just sleep and you can see their, but anyway. So my daughter calls it the Pride Cafe. She says, we are going to go to the Pride place, the gay place. And I'm like, oh, well, funny enough. I mean, believe it or not, I don't think the guy who runs it is gay, although, hey, maybe he is. And who am I to box him in, right? But he just seems to be a real advocate. And I've actually talked to him about his allyship and everything. So I said to my kids, well, I actually don't think he's gay. And they're like, well, of course he is. And I'm like, no. Plenty of people can be allies and have rainbows all over their coffee shop as well. And then suddenly my son goes, I bet the cats are gay. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all cats are gay. I would argue that even girl cats and boy cats and straight cats are inherently gay because they are cats. Do you follow my logic here?
Yes. Okay. I'm embarrassed to say this never occurred to me. I just reflexively laughed and told my kids, I don't think the cats are gay. But are cats just inherently felines, or just kind of
like they lick each other even when they're 2 boys? Like, I know that
they are bitchy, judgmental queens who would rather slap you, but also curl up with you, but then slap you.
I rest my case, Your Honor. Every single one of those cats is gay, especially orange cats. Yeah. No, I mean, like you said, as soon as you said like rainbow plus cats, I thought maybe lesbian owned, but then like clearly not. Like this right. Man who is straight does identify a little bit as a gay person. Maybe just as an owning a cat cafe. He doesn't have to sleep with men to be gay. You know that, right? You don't have to be sleeping with men to be gay.
We are in a world of all sorts of identity. And you can identify however you want. Sometimes we will judge you for it, but certainly not judge you for just identifying as gay.
That sounds amazing, though. My daughter she's such a cliche girl. She's so like, she loves babies and kitty cats and rainbow. Like, she's one of those. And she talks about going to a cat cafe all the time. But I think there's one in Montclair by us, but we've never gone. But yeah, no, that sounds amazing.
It's hard to justify paying like $25 to just sit around these cats who are just judging you and look like they're miserable anyway, because that's what cats are.
And to smell shit while you sip like a poorly made chai latte.
Yes. Yeah. That's all of the above. All of the above. It does, like, that basic feline feces scent is funky for sure. It's not retch worthy, but anyway.
It's gross. But we'll do anything for our kids, I guess. So I guess
just about anything. And so that's hilarious though. Cats are gay. That's a new t-shirt. New merch, okay? Cats.
All right, go to our store that doesn't exist and buy that shirt. Speaking of gay, I had a realization about being a gay parent, and I wonder if this is true for you. Do we actually enjoy parenting, or is parenting, the joy we get from parenting, just Stockholm Syndrome. And I legitimately
I wish the world
had this thought to this weekend.
I wish the world. I'm going to have to go back through this editing process and take a snapshot of you, the look on your face as you say Stockholm Syndrome, because I believe that you are in Stockholm Syndrome. I just based upon the look on your face.
Well, I was just thinking about all the times where I'm like, God, I love being a dad. And then I think about the times that I don't love being a dad, and they far outweigh. But I round everything up to being like, being a dad's the greatest thing ever. And it's like so important and it feels so wonderful and everything. But then like my daughter has gotten into this. She used to be really bad at bedtimes, and then she kind of got out of it. And she's like fine during bedtime, and she'll like whine or cry sometimes.
I feel like that deserves an entire episode in itself, because 100%. You have not actually complained about bedtime in quite a while.
No. Well, guess what? Buckle up, kiddo. Because this week she has decided to have a revival of what she did when she was like 2.5. And it's like a 30-40 minute scream session at night. A lot. Where like I'm like dragging her by the feet into her room. I mean, it is like just so volatile and so terrible. And I was just thinking, children are a blessing. They're a blessing from God. But also I'm like, I do the thing that is the joke all the time, which is like after a nightmare bedtime, I go sit on the couch and I look at pictures of her and I go, oh, I love her so much. And so is that Stockholm Syndrome, or do I actually love my children? That's my question.
My overarching thought is just that this is all your fault. And I hope you do realize that.
I believe that. Yeah.
This is all your fault.
Yeah.
And is it all Stockholm Syndrome? Yeah. We
or
are
is it just
ourselves.
Largely?
We're romanticizing it constantly, because then you get down the line and you look back on it and you forget all the bad times. Like I have completely forgotten all the bad times, except look at the bags under my eyes.
Your body is you cut some of those rings in your tree and we'll see. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
But I'm being targeted, as we know, on TikTok by this like nostalgia, like you're gonna miss it stuff. And the new thing is that there's this like remix of Hey There Delilah, and you mix it with like your kid as an older kid, and it cuts to them as a baby and whatever, and it says like, oh, I should delete photos of my camera or whatever. And I'm like, here's a perfect example. You have a child in front of you, and all you're thinking about is the cute child they used to be. And so are you enjoying now, or are you just enjoying remembering what it used to be?
It's a yes and, baby. It is a yes and
improv
situation.
Okay. Well,
but it is just exhausting.
But like I have to legally and emotionally believe that I do get joy out of this earnestly, and it's not just Stockholm Syndrome. But man, sometimes it feels like it. Sometimes I feel like I'm falling in love with my captor.
And so come on, let's start a podcast and complain about it.
Speaking of complaining, I was out of town.
You've been gone for a while. Tell us about your...
Yeah, I've been gone for quite a long time. Not quite a long time. I've been gone for like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
But kind of with a couple days
between. Listener noticed, because we have just absolutely dropped the ball, because you've been traveling and I've been spiraling. So
terrible. Yeah. You're a terrible person. So no, I've been traveling, and of course, the second I leave town, I land in the town I was in, and I get a text where my husband says, I broke my toe and sprained my wrist. And I was like, okay, more information, please. By the way, I'm in Wisconsin. He is back home with the children by himself. Here's what happened.
Did you immediately feel sympathy, or like, oh God, do I have to get on a plane and get back? Or did you roll your eyes and think, Jesus Christ, can you do nothing while I'm gone?
There was no chance I was coming back. I was in a king bed in a hotel room by myself. Even if he had died, I'd been like, his body will be fine in a week. I'll be back in a second. No, so we walk my son goes to school directly across the street from where we live. So we just walk. And so he likes to ride his scooter. So we'll let him ride his scooter all the way around the block, kind of the long way. He'll go to school, and then I will pick up the scooter. It's like a little 2-wheel Razor scooter.
Yes.
And I will pick it up and walk it home, like a 46-year-old does.
Yes.
My husband likes to ride the
scooter. All right, Brian.
My husband, who is in his 40s, likes to ride the scooter home. Well, we live in a town which is lovely with lots of trees, and those trees have roots which push up the cement. And so the sidewalks are not flat. And so my husband hit one of these little marks in the pavement and just shot over the thing and landed on his wrist and broke his toe. And so what's hilarious about that's not hilarious, right? I'm so sorry for your loss. But what's hilarious is that when you have kids who are 6 and 4, they can understand that Papa is hurt and watch out for Papa's toe and don't grab Papa's wrist, but they don't actually give a fuck. And so now his toe and his wrist are fucking child magnets. All they do is walk around his feet and constantly step on him. So I hear just from the other room, I have a broken toe. Watch out for my toe. And it's so funny because they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck.
They really don't. It is kind of like when you're on the phone and suddenly your kids are right there at your feet because they hear your voice and they think, oh, I need to ask you about something while picking my nose, staring at you and pretending like it doesn't matter that you're on the phone. I agree with you with injuries. Actually, my partner recently, I'm just now remembering this. While you were gone, I also had a family near tragedy as he was riding my son's e-bike. Remember the e-bike that we got, which we should, Child Protective Services absolutely should have been called on us because we gave our 12-and-a-half-year-old a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. And my partner decided to ride it just briefly down the road, a completely deserted dirt road. But our son had some setting on it that you couldn't brake. Like,
oh my God.
Literally, you could not brake. It was just going. And it was something like on some cruise control. And I witnessed, I was literally doing dishes, saw my partner come down through across my plane of sight, and he did a face plant off of the e-bike and rolled. And he doesn't deal with injuries very well. And I screamed, oh my God, and went running out to see if he was okay. Then I needed to prove, like the asshole that I am, that it was actually his fault and not the bike's fault. And lo and behold, it was still on cruise control. And then I fell and rolled off of the e-bike as well because I couldn't get the thing to stop. Mm-hmm. Point being, he also rather strained his wrist, and every single time the kids are anywhere near him, they are squeezing somehow his wrist. And so you hear ow constantly. My point entirely being that you're right, they are moths to the fire.
Yeah.
Don't have kids.
That's the point. The entire point is don't fucking have kids.
Speaking of kids, if you want to feel really bad about yourself also.
And looking forward to that. Know
that you are pointless in your existence. Have teenagers. Let me tell you. Mm-hmm. So I still drive my kids to school because I'm a sucker and don't force them to take the bus like the idiot that I am. And I'm just finally getting it through my head that they really don't want to talk at all. Like silence no matter what. And I know that we've visited this a lot, but that silence is golden. And finally,
because you get rewarded by like, I love you, Dad. This is the greatest car ride of my life when you do shut your fucking mouth. And your kids literally say, thank you for shutting your fucking mouth. Yeah. Well,
I'm still waiting for that. Thank you for shutting your fucking mouth. But I would imagine that'll take probably another few years. And maybe, I don't know, it'll be when they have kids, hopefully. But I was joking with my son, who was a little talkative in the car. And then I went back and said to my daughter, hey, what do you think about XYZ? And she's like, Dad, I don't care about that in the morning. Just like Moira Rose, who she is currently watching Schitt's Creek. Anyway, later in the day, that same topic came up. And she said she had a whole opinion about what I had asked her about earlier. And I said, why didn't you tell me that this morning? She said, Dad, I don't want to talk in the morning. And I guess I'm just saying that I'm starting to learn the lesson. I am starting to learn the lesson. Everybody out there, just let your teenagers be quiet in the morning because, of course, that's what they want. And why can't I learn my own lessons?
But are you really going to learn this lesson, Gavin? I worry that you're going to learn it like a Republican learns a lesson, where they're like, oh, I see. Like the Jaguar ate my face. I shouldn't do that again. And then they just go and do it again and again and again and again. I remember when I was a kid going to school in the morning and my mom would be like, just like ask me questions. And I was just desperate. I just want to just sit in silence, please. And she took that as I was mad at her. So then she'd ask me more questions. And then so the cycle continued when I just wanted to be quiet.
I think that I have learned the lesson. Over the last week, I have driven in complete silence, and that silence has been actually quite nice. And,
all right. You heard it here, everyone. Remind Gavin, if you see him on the streets begging for change.
Don't be a Republican.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Remind him, don't be a Republican, and learn your lesson and shut your fucking mouth in the mornings.
Yeah. Oh. It's hard. You want to bond with them, right? But no, just shut your fucking mouth. Yeah. Shut your fucking mouth. So it is almost summertime, frankly. I mean, we and listener children are almost out of school. Oh my God. It's almost Pride Month. We have really big plans in store, listener. Let me tell you. Anyway, but it is almost summertime. And it reminds me, my favorite thing about my kids in the summertime as little kids is how it never ceases to amaze me how you have to constantly remind young kids, and this is part of my nostalgia too, how to eat an ice cream cone. Have you noticed that, how you have to actually teach kids lick, turn, lick, turn, lick, turn, so that it doesn't all run down one side, And I miss that about summertime. But having
you
kids
don't
that have ice cream all over their hands.
No, you don't. You miss watching a video of a chubby little toddler licking a cone, going all the way to fingers. What you forget is that you have to clean up that motherfucker. You have to wipe him down, because now the bees are out, and now the bees are coming for him, and he's crying and screaming because blah, 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 blah. You need a pressure washer to get all this sticky shit off of him. No, you don't miss it, but you missed like the cute, like little video version of it. I do. Yeah. I hear that. But there's something about children at especially babies, that they don't have that weird recoil that I think we do as adults when something's around your mouth versus completely in your mouth.
Unaware.
Like if something is on my lip, I'm like, get it off. But as children, especially babies, there's a giant scoop of peanut butter on their upper lip for like a good 45 minutes, and they don't give a fuck.
Or it could be 45 days also. They don't care. But I was reminded of this just a couple of days ago when we were having a heat wave about a week and a half ago. And after school, I decided to be that dad and just take my kid impulsively and spontaneously to Dairy Queen. And it was awesome. But boy, did we have to lick fast because it was seriously hot out. Do your kids know how to eat ice cream cones by this age?
I mean, they do, but it's still a fucking disaster. My daughter is a cup only girl, which I appreciate definitely as like, but she still gets shit all over her mouth, all over her lap. And unfortunately, my daughter is as soon as there is a mark on my shorts or shirt, I want a new one. I want a new one. And so that is not fun because she obviously drips shit all over her. But my son is a cliche ice cream cone dripping all over his hands, licking around.
And doesn't care.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Licking from the bottom of his hand, not the top of the ice cream cone.
Correct.
Like just chasing his tail.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of summertime, that actually leads me to my dad hack of the week, which is I'm going to say it's just plain a weird one. I found this hack on social media because obviously, but it spurned in me wait, that's a thing? So I saw a post about mesh entanglement, and it was all speaking in euphemisms that basically said you should cut out the mesh lining of boys' swimsuits so that I think their testicles don't get entangled in the mesh. So I'm partly saying maybe this needs to be a dad hack. And also, have you, dear listener, and you, dumb David, ever heard of mesh entanglement in a swimsuit?
No. And I feel like we should have asked Dr. X this because I don't.
That's a good question, Dr. X.
What's the difference between like the mesh lining and just like briefs? It's the same, right?
Yeah, right. You know what? I should have obviously done my research, but that's not my job here at Gaytriarchs. I think that's your job, David. So you can research this for you.
Well, I know, we go to nude beaches, so we're not wearing anything. So I don't know what you're talking about. But
all of us.
Yeah, all of us. But I've never heard of this. This sounds a little made up.
I think it's.
Did you see this on Truth Social?
It is a level of wokeness, I think, that I find absolutely absurd. And yet at the same time, maybe you need that dad hack in your life. And also, listener, if you think this is bullshit, let us know. Because if you let us know, then at least somebody's paying attention to us. So we appreciate that.
And Gavin needs to be watched. He needs to be. He needs visibility. He talks about that
and validate. Validate my visibility and experience. All right. Did you know that there's no good news out there whatsoever?
I anticipated you saying that. Yes.
There's not. No. But I did dig deep. And keeping on brand, I have a story from Wisconsin for you. All right.
Hey, I was just there.
You sure were you in Watertown, Wisconsin?
I was not. It was in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Do you, I didn't know Appleton was a town until just recently. And I actually know geography pretty damn well. And I was walking through the airport one day and saw Appleton on the listing. And I'm like, where the hell is Appleton?
It's half an hour outside of Green Bay. It's a small little town, but it is adorable. And it's got a huge art scene. It's why they bring me out there every year. It's weird, but they are
and an airport.
And an airport. Now their airport is like, you're like, what gate am I at? They're like, sir, there is a gate. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those. Yeah. You're at the gate. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in Watertown, Wisconsin, the school band was going to play a symphonic piece that was inspired by Marsha P. Johnson, famed trans queer advocate from back in the day. There were no words to it, just music inspired by the composer Omar Thomas. So the Board of Education, always the bane of anybody's existence in this context, voted that they could not play this music. But a local church down the road said, hey, come to our church and we'll turn this into a community event, bring in some local musicians, and all of the high school can play the piece if you would like. And Omar Thomas, the composer, actually flew out to conduct it. And there was a line around the block because people wanted to show up against censorship and for music inspired by queer everything. And I thought that was an awesome story.
That is great news. Yeah, I did see it on my social media, and that is great news. And God, I just I will never understand the kind of disconnect between a community who is clearly supportive of this and this school board fucking bullshit that just like, oh, it's just so frustrating. But this is all good news. I saw it online. I saw the fucking line out the door for people wanting to go to this.
It's inspiring to know that. I mean, these servants of the people, the Board of Ed, are clearly not listening to logic, reason, or compassion or anything, and they were making craven, pathetic votes. But anyway, speaking of craven and pathetic, another story, and this is unfortunately, I would say, celebrating negativity, but in this case, it's negativity.
We love doing that here.
Delicious. Former Exodus International, which I believe is some organization that's all about gay conversion therapy, right? The former leader of that was actually caught in a sting because he was soliciting sex from a minor, and that would be gay sex from a minor. So that douchebag, may he roast in hell. And Alan Chambers definitely does. He will not be anybody's DILF of the week, that's for sure. But he's just generally a piece of shit who needs to go down, and I hope he does.
I think one of the best things I've heard in the past 10 years, which I feel like encompasses my feeling about all of this stuff, and you will, I guarantee, agree with this, is every accusation is an admission. And they were talking about Trump at the time. Like every time he says you're cheating, what he means is that I cheat, so you must be cheating.
Right.
And this is a perfect example. These people who are so anti-gay, every accusation is an admission.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Tell me something good, please.
Well, this is not good, but moving on to our DILF of the week, actually.
Well, this is good. It's good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This is good because Barney Frank, our DILF of the week, is a legend and a hero in the queer community. And obviously, he's like the original daddy, isn't he? He's one of the originals.
Yes.
And he died, I believe, last week, but he lived a nice, really long life, and he did a lot of good. Some people would also say he did a lot of bad. I don't know. Haters gonna hate, but listen, Barney Frank is a person who deserves respect, and we respect him, and therefore, how do we show respect? We make them a DILF of the week.
Yes, we're not celebrating his death, but can I also say something which will sound mean and bitchy, but I really mean it as a compliment?
Just you and all the cats. Go ahead.
I want more non-young, hot, muscle twink gays visible in the world. And Barney Frank is one of those people.
One of them, for sure.
I'm not saying he's ugly and gross, but to have gay icons, visible gay icons that aren't all with a 29-inch waist and an 8-inch dick, I'm like, that. I want more of that in the world. So thank you, Barney Frank, for not having a 29-inch waist and an 8-inch dick. This is what I meant.
You know what else doesn't have a 29-inch waist and an 8-inch dick?
What?
Our top 3 list.
Gaytriarchs top 3 list. 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
All right, this was a dumb one, and it's because I did it. So but I am curious. At the time, I was about to host a sleepover and for my son and his friends, and I had definitely sleepover breakfast on my mind. And I was curious if there's anything out there, and by out there, I mean in your world, David, that could inspire something beyond basically just bacon and pancakes. And I don't know, maybe I've gotten there and maybe I haven't. So that morning I did a bit of a dress rehearsal with this top 3 list, actually. And so for number 3 for me, the New York Times recipe for everyday pancakes. I know making them from scratch is bougie and pretentious, but guess what? It's actually really easy. And this is why my son told me that all of his friends think that I make the best breakfast. And so I'm going to say the New York Times everyday pancakes, very, very easy to do. And you can whip them up almost as fast as, like a box of, I don't know, log cabin. Is that pre-made pancakes? Anyway, okay.
No, that's a syrup.
Number 2, putting everything in the fridge just out on the table and let those children forage for themselves. I made pancakes and then I just put a bunch of shit out on the table. And that included leftover chicken nuggets.
Oh my God.
Guess what? They went real fast. That went some salad. Some kid actually made himself a salad. These are 13-year-olds, so go figure. So just put everything out on the table. And number 1, a bowl of M&Ms. Separate the peanuts from the regulars. Just give them M&Ms, and everybody's going to be happy. And the other parents who drop their kids off might judge you for it, but guess what? Their kids are happy when they go home. There you go.
Oh, okay. Well, I came at this top 3 list with 0 experience because I have been a kid at a sleepover, but my kids are not old enough to have sleepovers yet. So we haven't done it yet. So this is all coming from that magical place that we love to make 90s fun of, which, well, no, I was going to say the magical place of like, advice I'm giving on something I've never done. It's like the pre-parent advice. Like, why don't, when I'm a parent, I'm just going to not give them any sugar.
Great.
And you're like, oh, great. Cool. So this is all coming from my delusion, but also things that have worked for my kids. So number 3, a special drink that is out of a pitcher. So you make, it could be, and like what would be a mimosa, but obviously we're not feeding mimosas to kids. But so like, I don't know, cranberry juice and orange juice or something and some color. And you're like, this is a special drink for this breakfast. That
kitty cocktail.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that could be kind of fun for kids. Number 2, I think this is a little bit of a crossover, but build your own. Build your own anything. It could be pancakes, it could be eggs, whatever, where you put out all the kind of parts to it and you let them kind of reach and grab or whatever. I feel like my kids love to do that with pancakes because I used to bake, I'll make blueberry ones, I'll make whatever. And then they would always complain that wasn't the specific one they wanted that week. But this way, build your own fucking thing. Do it your fucking self. And number 1, this is the thing that I always pull out when I'm making weekend breakfasts. And so it sounds pretty basic, bitch, but it's always a hit. French toast casserole. So the trick with French toast casserole, and this is a really hard-headed, engaging content for you guys. Thank you all for listening. Is that you get your French bread that you're going to cut into cubes prior 3 days in advance, and you put it in the pan and you let it get stale.
You know that's where you lost me, was planning in advance.
Okay, no, but I'm telling you, if you have regular French toast casserole, it's soggy fucking bread. What are you, a duck? Yeah. What are you, a fucking duck? No. So what you do is you cut them into cubes, you put it in like the whatever tray you're going to cook it in, and you leave it out on your fucking counter for 3 days. And every day you toss that shit, so you switch it up. So it should feel hard and like stale.
What kind of bread is it? Like a baguette?
I just get like a French bread loaf from Costco.
Oh, a French bread. Okay.
Yeah. Of course from Costco. Anyway, my kids fucking love it.
I think that was actually helpful.
Do you think that was helpful? Do you think our listener is not totally asleep at the wheel right now?
Not at all. It's just you and me here.
Well, guess what?
What are you and I going to do next week?
Guess what? Get ready to fall asleep at the wheel. No, I was thinking about toys. I have a dad hack. Something great later about this, but I was thinking about toys and how our lives as fucking parents is just filled with fucking bullshit. So I want to know, what are the top 3 toys that you must disappear before the kids even see them? I was thinking about like birthdays, and you kind of have to go through and do a little curation. What are the top 3 toys that you have to disappear?
So my something great this week is a Christian rock song.
Oh, fucking Christ.
I know. Well, wait, you strike me as having gone through a Christian rock
Oh
phase.
yes, I was in Jars of Clay. Like I was like
Jars of Clay.
Oh yeah, I was such a fucking cliche. I wore it like an identity. I was like, oh, I'm Christian, and I'm like young, cool rock Christian, knowing full well I did not believe any of this bullshit. But I was, right. I totally, absolutely.
The irony here is that I have been very consistent in my utterly agnostic, I don't know if there's anything out there, but it's kind of nice to believe in something my entire life. I never went through a Christian rock phase. I always found it really, really trite. But recently on my feed, I saw that there's this reboot of a song called Testify to Love by a group called Avalon. Does the title or the group mean anything to you? Okay, definitely high 90s. They're giving what's the a cappella group that's famous now?
Pentatonics.
They're giving major Pentatonics vibes, right? And they sang this song called "Testify to Love." Well, one of the guys in the group, it was a trio, 2 men and a woman, and one of the guys in the trio is Ty Herndon, and he's gay, and apparently they've rebooted the song to be about truly all love and not just the very heteronormative Christian focused love that it used to be back in the day. And now suddenly, of course, not my entire feed, but I keep coming across lots of basically recovering evangelists and clearly tons of gay, queer, trans folks revisiting this song from their childhood, and all of them in tears, as only Instagram can do, where this song is actually meaning something to them and inclusive. And I think that it just makes my heart sing when listening to these people sing about their hearts. So I don't know, check it out, this reboot of Testify to Love, because even these people are pulling their heads out of their asses.
Oh, I love that. So my something great is, it's almost a dad hack. It's a great idea, but we haven't tested it yet. I want to put that caveat on. I have not tested this, but I was out to dinner with a friend of the show, Brian Ruiz, and his husband, Adam. Adam is our listener, by the way. Brian does not listen to the show. The guy who's on the show did not listen to the show, but his husband does. But we went out to dinner, and we basically came up with this idea, and I think it's fucking genius, and we're going to try it out, and I will report back. But the idea is, you go through your kids' toys, and you pull out a bunch of shit that either you don't want or the kids don't want, right? So you just basically garbage bag it up like you would normally drop off at the Goodwill or whatever. But instead, you find another family that is doing the same thing. And you basically tell your kids, if you're good, I'm going to order a mystery bag of toys. And then they drop it off at our front porch. And so the kids do something good, and you go, all right. And then the next morning, your friends put the fucking bag of the bag of trash basically on your porch, and to them, everything is new. It's exciting. There's this giant bag of toys. Oh my God. Little they know, it's somebody else's fucking trash.
Yeah.
And so we're going to try it. We're going to both give each other a bag of basically trash and see if our kids are into it. So it is by something great, because I think the idea is great. I have yet to test it. But if you out there have friends who have similarly aged kids, I want you to test it. I want you guys to get back to us.
Very smart.
And that is our show. If you have any comments, suggestions, or general compliments, you can email us at GaytriarchsPodcast@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us on Instagram. We are at GaytriarchsPodcast. On the internet, David is at David FM Vaughn everywhere, and Gavin is at Gavin Lodge at the Gay Cat Cafe.
Please follow us. Please follow us at Gaytriarchs on your favorite podcast platform of choice.
Thanks, and we'll testify to your love next time on another episode of Gaytriarchs.